in-person questions first. Dana will join us shortly. In-person questions first.
Kahleah, how do you summarize this season?
I think it was like a roller coaster. It's like I felt like we were like up, like kind of coasting in the middle, down, like we went up, and then like the end of the season, it was kind of like it was the same. That run at the end for us to get into the playoffs. But overall, it was a good run. It was a fun roller coaster ride. It was a good group to do it with. Good group to fight through adversity and everything that has come our way. I like the way we stayed together, not just as players, but the staff, our extended staff. I think they do much more than they are given credit for. So um, I think it was a roller coaster ride, fun roller coaster ride with a great group.
I know the season obviously just ended, but when you look at what you guys accomplished in spurts, what do you think needs to be addressed in the off season to ensure that success is sustained through a season?
Uh, that's a good question. I think I don't know. You make the best of whatever situation is in front of you, and I think that's what we did. I mean, like you can ask me what we can do for next year, but a lot has kind of happened in between the beginning and now. So with what we had, we did the best we could.
And then Emre, that run that your team went on late to cut it to 9. What did you see from them? What shifted? And why was kind of that energy, that pace of play just not sustainable for 40 minutes?
No, we we went to a different lineup, and we tried a couple of things, and we throw a couple of different defensive schemes in there, and we forced them to turn the ball over and make the not good decision for them, and we were able to convert those situations. That's what we try, and we accomplish it, and made us run 9 points, 3 possession game. I'm so proud of them that they keep pounding and bouncing back and keep responding what we throw out there. So it was a good run, but obviously it wasn't enough.
Brian.
So, Kai, you obviously spoke about the challenges of the season, and obviously your leadership has been tremendous this season. What is just one thing that you're going to kind of take away from this season and maybe incorporate for next year?
I mean, it's really nothing I can't handle. I think that this season was challenging from a leadership perspective and from just overall leadership perspective. I think at times I felt like it was a lot, but the way I responded to everything and being there for my teammates and continuing to bring them on board every single day, keep them competing, keep them fired up. So I'm just proud of my leadership. I had great leaders in the past, so just having my own style of leadership was good for me. But yeah, I'm proud of the leadership.
All right, we'll go to Carly Bell on Zoom. Please unmute.
Hey, Ka, would you say that after this season and the adversity that you guys have gone through, to still be able to fight through and make the playoffs, was this season a good foundation for what you want to see yourself do, not only next season, but what the Sky can do moving forward?
Yeah, I can say that. I can say it's a good foundation because I'm a winner. And for me, it was about making the playoffs to start and then competing from there. So we were able to do it through everything and kind of set the tone. It's also a pride thing. We didn't want to be that team. We talk about making 5 consecutive appearances in the playoffs. So we kind of put a little emphasis on that to keep a little chip on our shoulder. But Yeah, I think it's a stepping stone. So we wanted to be a part of that 8, and we wanted to be able to go out there and compete in the postseason.
Coach, when you reflect on your season in particular, personally, what is just one thing that you're proud of that this team was able to do? And then also, just to kind of follow up on that, what is your impression of Kahleah's leadership this season and how she was able to step up, especially late this season?
Yeah, as Scott said, it was a whole lot ups and downs. But I'm so proud of how they respond to any situation. When we took over the team, and I was talking about everything is a test. Everything is test to pass. So it was a lot of losing streak and how we're going to respond to it. And it was a lot of winning streak, how we're going to respond to it. And towards the end of the season, so we made a good run that I'm so proud of. As Kahleah said again, we made the playoffs and compete with the team who won a championship last year. So and we were still in the game. We made a run, and I'm so proud of every single time that they have a challenge in front of them and how they respond to it. That's all I'm proud of. And on the other hand, and I think she did an amazing job leading the group. She's the one that lead with example. She came every day to work with a great work ethic, and helped my job a lot easier, because she was there for an example for the rest of the group. So I'm pleased to have, and not only Kyle, we have very good group of players that they're all great human beings. So I'm happy to be a part of this team. I'm happy to be I'm grateful and thankful to be able to coach this kind of team with rest of the team with her leadership. So
I'm sorry, one last question. This is open to both of you guys. What is it just about A'ja Wilson that makes it so difficult to guard her? You guys were sending double coverage, some point triple coverage, and she was still able to fight through. What is it about A'ja Wilson that just makes it so difficult to guard her?
she's just a good player. I mean, she's just a good player. What else? What do you want me to say? I mean, she makes plays. She's a hell of a player. Could have done a better job? Of course, yeah. It's everything. Like, not only her, we could have done a better job here and there and there and here. But she's
good.
She's good. Like, what do you want me to say? I mean, you guys know it. Everybody know it. And we tried to do our best, and our group was there and competing and tried to do whatever coverages, whatever the thing is. Guys, we were out there and we were competing. Okay, I want you guys to understand this. And this group has made a hell of a job coming out there and playing hard. And we play hard. My players play hard, and I'm proud of them. And this other team is good team. Good team. What else? Good team. That's it. Period. Done. Right? A good team.
Thank you.
We'll go to Steven on Zoom. Steven?
Hey, my first question is going to be for Coach. So you had a front seat to Kahleah's evolution as a player over the last few years. There's been a change in terms of how she's been guarded by opposing teams. I was wondering, what's your assessment of how she's handled that, especially this season? She
did a great job. I mean, look, I don't think she ever played this much pick and roll. And now, she's great open court, right? Everybody knows it. She's great using the screens and utilizing the screens and coming off the screens and create everything. But I think one of the growth on her is, I think offensively, especially playing a whole lot pick and roll and making reads out of it. If the lane is open, she draw. If the trap comes and she pass it, she find the passes. And do you guys know how hard it is playing pick and roll? Pick and roll is very, very unique situation in a game of basketball. And it's so hard to read because good teams like this throw in a lot of different coverages on you. And every time they change it. They change throughout the like one possession and the other. So once you put the ball on the floor, you don't know what's coming, and that she took that challenge on another level. But give us a credit to our coaching staff and everybody who's involved in skill development and helping us to get better in reading. It's not only working on the court; it's also a lot of video time that she had. You guys don't know how much work on behind scene. Just not only practice, it's also video work too. So that her growth is big.
And then I was gonna kind of follow that up to Kahleah, just to kind of speak on how you taking on or shouldering that brother, seeing so many different coverages and matchups and things like that as a number one option this season.
I think it's a lot of video outside of practice, and sometimes in the game you can't see it. A lot of things happen fast, and like he said, the good teams are switching up coverages. So after games, just taking the time to watch and see the coverages and the reads that I'm missing, and then kind of trying to work on it and simulate it during player development.
And then my last question is gonna be for Coach. What's your biggest takeaway in terms of this team and the new rendition, stepping into that, going up against obviously the number one seed in the Aces?
Oh man, I'm
They showed you in the series.
Say it again. Sorry.
Basically, like, what are you most proud of that the team showed you in the playoff stage, with it being such a new team that you had under your wing this season?
Well, you say it like this team. I mean, I don't want to go way back, but this we lost 8 of our free agency last year, and then we lost the coach and these and that. But that's what make us unique on this journey, and these players stick with it, and how hard it is to be able to create a new culture in one season. Like teams are getting first pick couple times back to back, right? And then they invest 2 to 3 years to get that team is going, right? So how long this Aces team together? So this team has whole a lot new players, and the coach leave in the middle of the season, and we didn't change whole a lot, but it's still like it's the captain on the wheel is changed. So things are changing. So how they respond is big. So that's what I'm trying to point out. So if this group has more time, maybe can achieve different achievements.
Thank you.
Lastly, we'll go to Mike on Zoom.
Hey guys, my only question for Top. Obviously, we've been talking about it all year about the progression of this team and where you guys wanted to be from the very beginning, just trying to create chemistry and build that camaraderie. To you even saying at the All-Star break, you guys were ready to go for war. Even though the end result wasn't obviously what you guys wanted, how important was this season for you just to build this camaraderie, know that you can trust your teammates and they trust you?
It was big in setting the tone for that new era of the Chicago Sky. Losing so many players and having different players step up and different players come into a role. Some have a bigger role than they've ever had, and some had an opportunity that they've never had. So it was important for us to still set the foundation of the culture of the Chicago Sky, of how we do things, and just understanding that this organization has won a championship, and that's the standard. So I was just, reinforcing the standard every single day, no matter who's on the roster. It doesn't matter. It's just what the standard is of playing hard, competing, and just getting after it. So I was happy how this group evolved with each other. We talk about the chemistry and everything, but not just off the court, but also on the court. We started to really learn each other. So I think this was a great foundation, and it was also good because we were able to get into the playoffs and go and compete.
Thanks, guys.
Emre, just one follow-up for me. You talked about pregame. You're not really thinking about the future just yet, but
For myself?
Yeah, for yourself. But do you have a desire to return to this guy as the head coach?
I mean, absolutely. This is what I work for entire of my life. you know. This is what I, you know, like you dream for this, and I'm so happy and grateful to be able to just coaching in WNBA. There's 12 teams. Now I'm one of them, head coach. So I am so happy, so grateful, so humble to be here. If this opportunity gives me again, oh man, I'll take it on like heartbeat, you know. But yeah, again, like in order to do something, you need some time, you know. You gotta build the chemistry. You gotta put the team together, and that's about time, you know. You need some time.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Well, Dana,
How would you summarize this season?
A roller coaster. It was a lot of ups and a lot of downs. I give this team credit. I feel like we never gave up. We kept fighting. Like we could have easily been like, we're not going to make the playoffs, whatever. But we set a goal at the end of the season. Out of our last 8 games, we needed to win 6, and we accomplished that goal. So I think it's just a matter of also being proud of what we've done, but knowing that it's a lot of work to be fixed for sure. But I feel like this season, like we had injuries, we had a head coaching change, like it was a lot going on. So for us to still get to the playoffs and still like fight through that adversity says a lot about this group.
When you are up against a team like the Aces, and you see kind of that championship blueprint in them, you guys very recently had that championship blueprint yourselves. Going into this offseason, what needs to be addressed to be up against a team like this and compete to reach that mountaintop again?
Well, I can only speak for me because I'm not sure what the GMs and what we have working up. Hopefully that we have a great team next year, which we had a good team this year as well. But like I said, some things happen. But I'm sure they're looking at that. But as far as my approach is to just become better. Obviously, I want to go into every off season and overseas season working on my game, getting better, finding out things that I know that I need to work on, and challenging myself overseas and not just doing what I'm comfortable with doing. Put myself in an uncomfortable situation to be better.
Ryan?
So Dana, we had talked Friday after practice, and you were talking about doing the film work and some of the things you're going to be doing differently today. I saw that attack in the basket. What were you seeing out there just to give you those type of looks?
I think, like I said, just coming out aggressive. Last game, I went in and I just settled for jump shots, and that's what they wanted me to do. But I think this game I was more aggressive, getting to the basket, making things happen. And that worked for me today.
And then just a quick follow-up for you. Courtney Williams, she basically, I think, took one for the team this season, running point. Could you just talk to us about just your assessment of her play this season?
She's just for sure a team player. Like, she wants to put the team first, and that says a lot about her character because that's not her natural position. That's not what she's been doing. So for her to step out of her comfort zone and sacrifice what she's been doing for the team says a lot about her. But she's a great player. She does a lot of little things that don't always show up. She's a great rebounding guard for us. She brings leadership to this team. She brings so many different dynamics, whether that's scoring, getting people involved. She did pretty much everything this season, so she was really big for us.
We'll go Carly Bell on Zoom. Carly?
Hey, Dana, just one question for you. Like you said, it was a roller coaster of a season. You guys went through a lot of adversity, just with coaching staff and injuries. But when you look back at everything that you guys went through, is the journey that you guys created and everything that you guys were able to do late in the season, would you say that late season push helped set a foundation for what the Sky can do moving forward next year for you personally and then for the team as a whole? This was a good foundation and setting point to kind of change what the Sky want to be moving forward.
Pretty much like build off of it.
Yeah.
In a way.
exactly.
Yeah, I think personally for me, it's some things that I know that I can work on and I can be better at. But I think I've grown a lot this season, and I've become more confident and comfortable out there. And as the team, like I said, I'm proud of this group. I feel like we fought and we never gave up. We ran into a really good Aces team. But other than that, I feel like we did a really good job getting into the playoffs with how the season was going for us and the things that we had to overcome.
Sorry, one more follow-up. What's your evaluation of Kahleah's leadership this season, and how have you also played a part kind of as a tandem with teaching this system basically twice to this team this year? How would you evaluate the leadership of the team this year?
I would say it was good. I think Ka's more of a lead by example, and we follow her leader. But she stepped out of her comfort zone as well, and she was more vocal, and she was letting people know what they need to do and how we need to do it. So she was really good this season for us, and Courtney was really good at leading us as well, just making sure that we stayed at this steady pace, because I feel like sometimes, like I said, it was a roller coaster. So we just didn't want to get too high and too low. And I think Courtney and Kai did a really good job of like setting the tone for that and making sure that we stayed doing that.
Thank you.
Lastly, we'll go to Steven. Steven?
Hey, Dana. My first question for you, I was just gonna ask, what did you feel like you all learned as a team in this new rendition in this first round series against the Aces?
I mean, we learned a lot. I mean, we learned that we got to stay together. We got to trust the game plans. I think you have that point where obviously we know this game, but we also have to trust that our staff is doing a really good job of giving us a game plan and just us following it and being productive in that. But yeah, other than we just got to be better. I don't know.
And then my last question for you, we talked about it multiple times this season, the different types of defenses you've been going up against, how you've grown in that. Feels like in this series you saw a lot of that again. So I was wondering, what's your assessment of how you went up against that in this series, and it's kind of moving forward, what are you looking forward to evolving in your game?
Yeah, I think the first game, like I said, I settled for a lot of jumpers, and I was just trying to get a feel for it. But part of my game that has been growing is me just rewatching the film and rewatching it to be better, and not just watching the game, and really watching to see what I could have done better. And what I took from it was I needed to attack the basket more, get in the paint and make those reads. And today I think I was more aggressive. I didn't settle for those jumpers. I was just taking what they was giving me. Thank you. Thank you.